going to change the plan ever so slightly, my dears, in that, as I've already explained, I'm going to keep the interval rolling now, so if anyone is feeling ambidextrous and wishes to throw in comments while the second set's running, please feel free so to do. It's absolutely fine, and I'll probably keep it rolling a bit beyond the end of this set. So there, that's exciting, isn't it? Time for a bit of Gibson. Farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies, farewell and adieu to your ladies of Spain. For we received orders to sail for old England, we hoped in a short time to see you again. The ransom will roar like true British sailors, the ransom will roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ocean to Sydney is 35 leagues. We hove our ship to with the wind from southwest, boys. We hove our ship to deep soundings to take. 'Twas 45 fathoms with a white sandy bottom. We squared the main yard and up channel did make. Your ransom will roar like true British sailors, the ransom will roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ocean to Sydney is 35 leagues. Well, the first land we sighted was called the Dodman. Next ran Med of Plymouth, of Portsmouth the White. Well, we sailed by Old Beachy, by Fairlight and Dover, and then we bore up for the Southforeland Line. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ocean to Sydney is 35 leagues. Then the order was given for the Grand Fleet to anchor, and all in the Downs that night for to lie. Let go, you shank painters, let go, you can't stop us. Haul up your crew garments, let tacks and sheets fly. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ocean to Sydney is 35 leagues. So let every man drink off his full bumper, let every man drink off his full glass. Well, drink and be jolly, or drown melancholy, and here's to the health of each true-hearted lass. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ocean to Sydney is 35 leagues. Asking you to sing, oh yes. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ocean to Sydney is 35 leagues. you probably know that, especially on the rare occasions that Chopin's do the original, whole, complete version of Tall Ships thing, which is not just a song, but it's kind of a song cycle with, and it's based around this same song with the minor tune, which we usually do, you know, sort of. Farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies, farewell and adieu ladies of Spain, for we received orders to sail for old England. But look, it's just a little anecdote. I honestly cannot verify the truth of this anecdote. I'd love to think it's true. But Jaws, you know, awful film, dreadful, plastic bloody sharks. But there is just this magic moment for me. Robert Shaw, always one of my heroes, of course. I mean, you know, late 50s television, The Buccaneer, all that kind of stuff. I feel sure that some of you will feel what I'm talking about. But yeah, Robert Shaw, because Irish, knows a few folk songs, knew a few folk songs. And so there's the bit where they're kitting out the boat, ready to go and find the plastic shark. And he starts crooning. And it's farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies. He's singing that song, basically. And so the story goes, and I can't verify it, story goes that he was, you know, they're rehearsing the scene, and so Robert Shaw's just leaning around and he's just quietly humming that song, and Spielberg picks up on it and goes, hey Robert, what's that you're singing? Yeah, well, it's just an old folk song, you know, just happened to know it, and that's how it got in, basically, and another of those wonderful random things. Don't know if it's true, I'd love to think that it was. So here we go, back to the old black guitar again. So, as I've said a trillion times before, the thing that brought everything to focus for me, I mean, of course it was pop music of the times, you know, the rock and roll era. I was just too young to be a teddy boy, only just. And, but, you know, obviously Lonnie Donegan, everyone knew him because he was on the radio and so on and so forth. And then at the beginning, early in the 60s, you had these fantastic, very sophisticated young bohemian guitar players hanging out in London, and there was a man called David Graham. I was lucky enough to hear his album Folk, Blues and Beyond at a very, very early age. In fact, the album was made in 1964. I'm still not sure whether I actually heard it in 64 or 65. It was just a lucky incident, and I was transfixed by, firstly, all the crisp, clear blues playing, all of that stuff, and then the finger picking. You know, I was aware of Dylan, but I again, you see, you come at these things from angles. You know, the first time I took any notice of a Dylan song was through Davy Graham. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. No, ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. And you know, because it's on album. But there was this delicious, wonderful mixture of blues and traditional folk songs, just a whole bunch of stuff, and some slightly Eastern sounding stuff. But yeah, and it was the names of the bluesmen. This is the point. You know, you look down it and you found, you know, songs by Reverend Gary Davis. In you come, baby, as dressed in blue. She said, lover, what's the matter with you? Cocaine, it's running all around my brain. And so I could play all the songs eventually, albeit with a flat pick. I hadn't learnt to finger pick properly. But this thing I've been doing now for a long time. In fact, I did a separate on my YouTube channel. You'll find a separate thing about this, but it's that little tune of mine from mine and Steve's first solo album, Beat About the Bush, which is called Mr. Mays, which is a kind of quiet tribute to Ralph McTell, who's been such a good friend to us over the years, and I just found a way of combining that tune with quite a radically different version of David Graham's version of Blind Willie Johnson's I Cannot Keep From Crying Sometimes, which I'm now going to do. Cannot keep from crying sometimes. Cannot keep from crying sometimes. 'Cause my heart's full of sorrow and my eyes are full of tears. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. The seven sheep has left me. I get on a little while. Soon it will be all over, and I journey with a smile. But my thoughts as I get older, I dream of what I told her. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. 'Cause my heart's full of sorrow and my eyes are full of tears. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. I'm on the King's Highway and I'm travelling night and day. My mother's gone before me, so I must be on my way. And my father, he's gone too. My sister, she could not stay. I'll have to keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. 'Cause my heart's full of sorrow and my eyes are full of tears. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. Cannot keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. 'Cause my heart's full of sorrow and my eyes they're full of tears. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying sometimes. I cannot keep from crying. Cannot keep from crying. Learnt from the David Graham album, Fabulous and Beyond. What should we do now? Yeah, might as well. Gonna have to do it. I haven't really responded that much to requests. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this old chestnut. Drop D, my dears. When in doubt, drop your D's. And this came about for one reason, as I've explained so many times. There we were, can't remember, it's in Stuttgart, where is it? Beautiful venue, holds about 600 people. The Hollies had been on the night before, and I, looking at the picture, and the point is that there's a house photographer, you see, who takes photographs every night, so there are thousands of pictures around the wall. So you can always go to the spot where the pictures end and find out who was on last night, and it said the Hollies. It looked like a Holly to me. I only vaguely recognised one of them. Anyway, it's Graham Gouldman's song, and this is, as always, dedicated to the memory of one of my uncles, one of my Falmouth uncles, Jim, who instilled in us the love of ordering vinyl records, you know, noting that they were being released at some point in time. He would order these records, and on the appointed day he'd get dressed up to go down Killigrew Street along Church Street to where the record shop was, to pick up a single or so on and bring it back and play it. And he had what passed for an incredibly good record player, this old Ferguson radiogram at a time with glowing valves and all the rest of it. Gosh, this ages me, doesn't it? And yeah, lovely chap. He just got excited about it, and the Hollies were one of his favourite groups. It's actually Graham Gouldman's song. Very clever man, Graham Gouldman, written some beautiful songs over the years. I like him very much. And that won't do. Why is it always that one? Bus stop wet she's there, I say, please share my umbrella. Bus stop bus goes, she stays, love grows under my umbrella. All that summer we enjoyed it, wind or rain or shine. That umbrella we embroidered, I all guess she was mine. Every morning I would see her waiting at the stop. Sometimes she'd shopped, she would show me what she bought. Everybody stared as though we were both quite insane. Someday my name and hers are going to be the same. And that's the way the whole thing started. Silly, but it's true. Think about a sweet romance beginning in the queue. Come the summer, ice was melting, no more sheltering now. Nice to think that that umbrella led me to a bow. Every morning I would see her waiting at the stop. Sometimes she'd shopped, and she would show me what she bought. Everybody stared as though we were both quite insane. Someday my name and hers are going to be the same. Bus stop wet day, she's there, I say, please share my umbrella. Bus stop, bus goes, she stays, love grows under my umbrella. I'm always quite amused by the way I end up coming at things sideways, you know, like not picking up, well, I logically should have done on the early Fairport albums, but not coming into it until Full House. And then at the same time, I don't know how I missed Steve Earle. I can't fathom how I missed Steve Earle, but I actually first heard the Devil's Right Hand album, which Topic, it's an American album, a band called Webb Wilder and the Beatniks, and that's where I actually first heard it. It's a great version of it, and because I learnt the song like in 10 minutes and have known it and loved it ever since. Play it with the electric band, and here's a sort of a stripped back version. War. Some of us pistol in the general store, when I was 13, thought I was the finest thing I ever did see. I still I could get one someday when I grew up. Mama looked at us and she nearly blew up, she didn't understand. Mama says the pistol is the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, oh the devil's right hand. Mama says the pistol is the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, devil's right hand. Mama says the pistol is the devil's right hand. My first pistol was a cap and ball Colt. Shoots as fast as lightning, but it loads a mite slow. Loads a mite slow, you can shoot a man down, get you into trouble, but it can get you out. My next pistol was a Colt 45, called it peacemaker, but I never knew why. Didn't understand. Mama says the pistol is the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Mama says the pistol is the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, oh the devil's right hand. Mama says the pistol is the devil's right hand. I got into a cockade in a company town. Well, I caught a man cheating and I shut that dog down. Shut that dog down and watched a man fall. Never reached his house and never had a chance to draw. 3 hours in the morning, kicked me out of bed. Asked me how I pleaded, not guilty I said. Not guilty I said. You got the wrong man. The hand that pulled the trigger was the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, oh the devil's right hand. The hand that pulled the trigger was the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, oh the devil's right hand. The hand that pulled the trigger was the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. The hand that pulled the trigger was the devil's right hand. Steve-O. Again, though, nobody seems to write them like that anymore. That's a particularly great song. I love that one. Okay, here's one I haven't done for a long time. This is going to be on the covers album, disc 2, box set 2, and it's Kelly Joe Phelps song. Kelly Joe Phelps really came to prominence as a kind of very bluesy slide guitarist, but the album that this song comes from, Sky Like a Broken Clock, is a whole bunch of singer-songwriter stuff, and some of it is pretty amazing. But this is, I don't know, this is a very emotional song indeed. So there you go. This is called Tommy. Nothing to do with The Who. Tommy. Tommy had a watch, a good kind of watch. You could tell time if you asked it. Didn't have a face, just an ear and an eye to see him with. waste all candy from the corner store to feed to the mice having made a home for. By the side of a heater next to his guitar, which he could neither play nor destroy, Tommy wrote a letter to the office of iniquity, demanding a history of his actions. But the letter was returned just 2 days gone. There was no office of iniquity. Tommy didn't see so well, and he didn't have a radio. He talked to himself in different voices, sang to himself in a Russian dialect, invented on a Sunday afternoon. Tommy stole a limp, and he borrowed a demeanor, so he'd scare everyone who wanted talking away. 'Cause they frightened him so much that he'd pee down his leg as he tried to find the words to say. Tommy wore the helmet of a frustrated miner, digging for words as though gold, standing in the mud with his dark grey fedora, wearing his knee-patched dungarees. Tommy was at home when the fire started, high behind the wheel of a Colt 45, with a clip full of ether and a bucket full of gas and a belly full of turpentine. Sure, there was no one in danger, knocking on each door like a madman. Locked himself in, and he did the whirling dervish, tipped the candle onto the floor. Tommy was asleep when the firemen came, which was good because they scared him anyway. And all they ever found were the mice in the fridge, in a box with some cheese and a hand warmer, run on batteries. Tommy was a good man, nobody knew. Tommy was a good man, nobody knew. I think that's possibly one of the 10 best songs I know. Well, folks, we're coming to the end now. This is the trilogy, which many of you know. I've tried to drop this so many times over the last few years, and people keep on asking for it. So for the moment, I'll stick with it. Oh, it's starting to get dark now, just like an actual live gig, as the sun sets and all the rest of it. Yeah, lovely, very nice. So yeah, you're well aware of the centenary project that we did. We were very privileged to be able to work on that with Jim Carter and Imelda Staunton, and I have a particular thing about First World War songs and poetry for a very simple reason that one of my two school charismatic teachers was completely his knowledge of the literature and music of the First World War was encyclopedic, in fact. And so I'm going to dedicate this to the memory of Roger Watts, without whom, as I sit here with this table, there's the Ray Bradbury compendium. I would never probably connected with Ray Bradbury if it hadn't been at such a young age, and then sort of been influenced by it so much if it hadn't been for Roger Watts. No, so this is three things: the flowers of the forest. And then for years, a lot of people still don't know that I worked with Johnny Compton. We were effectively a duo for several years, and Johnny, one of his specialist subjects is taking poetry, Gloucestershire's poetry, and setting it to music. And so the second piece here is one of Johnny's wonderful musical settings. And then the last one is, well, it's a Sunday school hymn, but not this particular version. Thank you for all coming on. Thank you all for coming on. Brilliant. I'm going to keep the chat room running for a while at the end of this gig. But after this, I'm finally going to crack this bottle. Robbie, thank you so much. This is a beer amongst beers. Ha! Take it easy, folks. I will do this again in about a month's time, and I'll try and use a completely different set of instruments. Once again, I didn't get to the mandolin tonight. Apologies. I will. Walk again by Seventide, nor see a distant silver in the sun. He will not dream again on that hillside, above the hills with Cotswold, let's have fun. He will not know again the joys of home, the loving welcome and the warmth of kin. He will not see the black-edged letter come to break the heart he was most cherished in. Then again he saw in memory the spire, the hill, the hamlet and the wood, and wise old rooks of Cotswold ancestry come strutting by as if they understood. And through the fields where all the wild things go, he saw the spring rise, clean above the clay, and with the water felt his spirits flow out of the hills to where his longing lay. Filled with trees, he felt the brook beneath him, heard it sing, past past unfrequented places, and from these some power bore him and his life took wing. He died in war, men forget his name. All that he was is vanished into night. The brook still flows, newborn and yet the same. Out of the womb, God's water light. He died in war, men forget his name. All that he was is vanished into night. The brook still flows, newborn and yet the same. Out of the womb, God's water the light. When this bloody war is over, oh, how happy I shall be when I get my civvy clothes on. No more soldiering for me, no more church parades on Sunday, no more asking for a pass. You can tell that sergeant major. Thank you very much. Take it easy, folks. If anyone wants to hang around on Facebook in the chat room afterwards, I'll be there for a while. Because let's face it, not going anywhere. Simple as that. Thank you ever so much for listening. Take it easy, folks. Keep an eye open for Miranda's Saturday concerts from home, which are wonderful. And don't forget, Steve, in very few days, will be doing one of the first virtual house gigs. Well, the first virtual house gig, in fact. So we're all intrigued to see how that's going to go. Take it easy, folks. Stay safe. Good night.